What's up, everybody? It's your old pal Pete. Here's to your weekend. I hope it was good. Before we get to this week's comics, which were actually really fun to read, I want to announce the winner of our Ghostbusters contest. Thank you, everyone who wrote into questions@peachbasement.com with your correct answer. The correct answer was Sam Hain, the Spirit of Halloween. And thank you, everyone, for including a picture of Sam Hain from the cartoon along with your answer. That was very helpful. But Jorge Burgos, you were the first one to write in bright and early Tuesday morning with the correct answer. So we are sending you this Dark Ages graphic novel. Thank you for participating in one of our contests. We always enjoy the fan reaction when we do that, and we give away free stuff. So Jorge, send us your address, as we do not keep a file of these things, and we'll get your comic off to you. Allow 6 to 8 weeks for deliveries, which is really enough time for me to get my lazy ass off to the post office. We have another contest to talk about, but we'll do that later on in the program. Right now, I have to talk to you guys about my book of the week, which was G.I. Joe #1. This was absolutely one of the... it's so much fun. I wound up buying 2 other variant covers, too. I bought the History of the G.I. Joe toy variant, which was not a lot of fun as far as a cover goes, but it was really fun to read. I did not know that the G.I. Joe toys were made with a intentional flaw that the left thumb is turned inside to the wrist. So this way, if anybody tried to copy the mold, they would see that, yo, you fucking guys bit off of us, we're going to sue you now. And I bought this Art Adams cover of the Baroness, though I do not like her face much. The body is pretty killer as far as, cartoon characters go. But this is, if you were planning on getting into G.I. Joe and you didn't know where to start, this is the book where you start at. This picks up directly off of IDW's last set of G.I. Joe books, which was G.I. Joe, there was Cobra, and there was Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Those all ended with issue 21. Now we see the G.I. Joe team in the public light. Basically, Cobra's whole idea was to make this covert action team live to the public. They were tweeting about it, and they were fucking leaking information and videos on the internet, and like, look, your government is lying to you. This team of army specialists and murderers really exists, and what's going on? And they figured it would turn into a public frenzy, but the government turned it against Cobra and said, well, yeah, we do have these people. This is who they are. Let's introduce the team. And they have a lot of really great jokes and quips that a true fan like myself would definitely... I was rolling in my seat while I was reading it. First of all, Joe Colton is the new general of the team. And he said, he's talking to Duke, and he's like, somebody had to fall on their sword for the fiasco that was, our coming out party, thanks to Cobra. And unfortunately, that was General Hawk. He is in retirement right now. He is not dead. He had a cool ending to his story in G.I. Joe 21, where he took on some Cobra assassins and fucked them all up. I highly suggest you read that book. But General Joe Colton is the original G.I. Joe. That was, the name of this character, the 12-inch G.I. Joe toy. And we are seeing the first strike team of new G.I. Joes. Not new, but there's no ninjas. First of all, they left all the ninjas the fuck out of this for once. And as much as I like Snake Eyes, I do like the rest of the team as well. We've got Duke, we've got Cover Girl, Roadblock, Shipwreck, Quick Kick, Tunnel Rat, and Doc, who is actually Doc's daughter. The Doc that we know from the cartoon show, which is the older black guy. He has his daughter serving the team right now. And there was some really cool, funny jokes with Shipwreck, where he's talking to Duke. He's like, do I have to wear this fucking thing? I look like a goddamn cartoon duck. What is this? And he's like, listen, man, this is all about our PR, and the public likes fun uniforms, and hey, listen, they're even making toys out of us and shit. So that was really funny. Another one I liked, speaking of the toy, was Duke and General Colton shake hands, and for an old guy, Duke was like, "Oh man, you got a real hard grip there." And Joe Colton's like, "Yeah, so I've heard." So that, kung fu grip and all that was really fun. Overall, the story was really engaging. The Joes go after this town, which is supposedly has like a Cobra splinter cell in it, and they find out when they get there that it's not just a cell within the town, it's the whole fucking town. So they're grossly outnumbered, and they're captured. Duke gets captured by the Baroness, which is this really hot picture coming up on the screen right now. and that's where the book leaves off. We're also going to see a G.I. Joe Special Missions book coming out in a week or two. Guys, as a Joe fan, this was a phenomenal book, and it is a great jumping on point. Even Ramon liked it. He actually texted me out of the blue. He's like, yo, I actually fucking like G.I. Joe. This was a good book. And I wound up buying this cover, which is surprisingly the B cover, because this other cover popping up on the screen sucks. It really did. Like, there weren't that many interesting covers to this, and I expected better. Well, since I got IDW's books in front of me, let's talk TMNT. If you guys aren't on Ninja Turtles right now, I don't understand what's going through your mind. If you were at all a fan of the cartoon show back in the day, or you ever read some of the original comics, this book does it so much justice. It's so much fun. This next issue, not this one, but issue 20, which will be out in a month, we'll see a big fight between the Ninja Turtles and General Krang. They're just kind of realizing that some of their enemies may be otherworldly at this point, since they just wound up in Dimension X. It's just a really great book, and now, you know, the movie seems to be back on track. We know Michael Bay is once again directing it. Hopefully the Turtles are not from fucking outer space. Megan Fox is April O'Neil. I, for one, am not that happy with that idea. Megan Fox used to be pretty, and then she went and got a bunch of plastic surgery, and now I don't really like to look at her for too long. I'm not too interested in the show, in the movie coming out, but the book is so much fun, and please let us know if you are reading it. We'd love to hear from you guys. You know the drill. Questions at Pete'sBasement.com. Drop us a line. Facebook.com/Pete'sBasement. Always comment on, you know, the stuff that we put up, or, you know, make some posts yourself. It's a great way to interact, because I'm on the Facebook every day. Ramon pops in now and then. Steve is on there. Follow us on Twitter for, you know, up-to-the-minute comic reviews. If there's something really cool going on that I just read, then I'll put up a tweet about it. But other than that, yeah, don't message us on Facebook. There's a lot of fucking spam going on there, and it's really tough for us to find it. Comment on the Facebook if you want to tell us something, or drop us a line of questions. I haven't read these yet, but I want to show these off. The Spawn comics, ever since the 220th issue, which is a take, this cover is a take on the 200th issue cover, where the other Zero was there, and that's the Zero dropped, and Spawn's kind of like, oh shit. So now it's the 20th anniversary covers. It's the 20th anniversary cover, and they've been doing these these classic comic cover, not rip-offs, but like homages, I guess, homage, however the fuck you want to say that. I picked up a couple. I haven't got them all yet, but I'm planning on it. Spawn, the Triumphs of the Dark Knight, Knight spelled N-I-G-H-T. This is a Batman the Dark Knight homage, whatever. Here is a Watchmen cover. This was issue 225. This one just came out recently, which was the reason I went back and got the rest of them. Issue 228 is an Action Comics picture with Spawn throwing the car into the wall. This is fucking awesome. It's much bloodier than the original Action Comics one. There's also a classic Spider-Man Venom cover, which I don't have yet. There's another one of The Walking Dead. There's a couple of them, because there's obviously a grand total of 8, because they've been doing it since issue 220, and we're up to 228 now, and I'm probably expecting them to go for the full year. This is one of the only times I'm actually just buying a book for the covers. They're cover priced, they're not expensive. Or not, I haven't read Spawn in fucking ages, so if any of you are out there reading Spawn, let me know what a good jump on point is. I might like to actually get back into the character. Is it Al Simmons? Is it some new dude? I remember there was like a new guy who showed up in issue 200. Let me know what's going on. I'm a little confused, but I'm interested. I will say that much. Justice League 17 came out this week, which saw a conclusion to Throne of Atlantis. Is it me, or did Aquaman fuck over his brother? Like, he beat the shit out of him, and when he took the throne, he just beat the shit out of Orm in order to stop the invasion of Atlantis, and he was like, you know, I won, yield the throne, yield the fucking throne. And he's like, I yield, I'm sorry. So he turns over the scepter, and at that point, Vulko, who was like Aquaman's staunch supporter, just surrenders because that was what he wanted. He set this whole thing up so Aquaman would seize the throne of Atlantis from his brother, because he knew that attacking the United States and the rest of the surface world would be Orm's only recourse of action. But it kind of felt like, you know, now that Aquaman took over the throne and he looks at Orm and he's like, oh, you know, bro, yeah, you were like a diplomat, but now I'm the diplomat and you're nobody, but you still bombed America, so you're under arrest. Sorry, dude. Just doesn't seem right. Seems kind of fucked up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should Orm have been fucking arrested or not? Moving along, Justice League of America came out this week. I did not think I was going to like this book. There were 52 covers to this book. There was one for each of the 50 states. There was one for Puerto Rico, and there was the classic, you know, United States cover. I also picked up the New York cover because, well, why the fuck not? I did not think I was going to like this book. Basically, it just saw Amanda Waller talking to Wonder Woman's ex-boyfriend, whose name escapes me. I know it's in the book somewhere. I'm not going to bother to look for it. Whatever it's fucking... Steve Trevor? Is that right? Steve Trevor, maybe? Whatever. And they're talking about forming a U.S. government-sanctioned super team, the Justice League of America, as opposed to just the Justice League, which is kind of above the United, you know, the planet Earth in the satellite, and they protect everybody. We need our own team, so here's who we're going to get. And they are doing this with the intention of eventually, because, you know, now with this whole shit with Atlantis being over, they the public doesn't really look at the Justice League the same way, so they're doing this with the intention of taking down the Justice League. And they have everybody kind of mapped out, which I don't really agree with. And here's why. We got the Martian Manhunter versus Superman, which would be a really fantastic fight. I don't know who would win in that. I really don't. I'd probably give it to Superman, but everybody sleeps on Martian Manhunter, and it was only in that last, I think it was Infinite Crisis when they killed him, when he was fighting to the death, and he was like, everybody underestimates me. I'm as strong as Superman! And, like, he just fucked everybody up. It was a really awesome book. So I'd like a Martian Manhunter Superman fight. It'd be really cool. Catwoman versus Batman. Are you fucking ridiculous? Like, really? Batman has handed Catwoman her ass in more ways than one. Fucking left and right. There's no way Catwoman could even be a match for Batman. Forget even how he thinks. They have her on this team because she knows how Batman thinks. Bullshit. Bullshit. Fucking ain't nobody know how Batman thinks except maybe the Joker. You should have got him, which we'll get to in a moment. Katana versus Wonder Woman. She's a human fucking assassin. She's Elektra with a kabuki mask. You're gonna have her take down fucking Wonder Woman? What are you, stupid? No. Green Lantern versus Green Lantern. You got Hal Jordan versus Simon Baz. I'm sorry, but as cool as the new Green Lantern is, there's no way a rookie is gonna take down a veteran like Hal Jordan. It might be a cool fight, but he's not winning in the end. Flash versus Vibe. Now, this could be cool if it's written properly, because Vibe works on like vibrational planes. He doesn't exist fully in this world. He's just kind of vibrating in and out of it. That's what I got out of this book. And Flash obviously runs so fast that he can, you know, he can vibrate his molecules and shit in and out of existence as well. This could be a cool fight. Cyborg versus Stargirl. These are the two I know the least bit about. I know she has like one of the most powerful weapons on Earth, which is that Star Staff thing. Stargirl will probably beat Cyborg, I'm guessing. Aquaman versus Hawkman is going to be the other really awesome fight, along with Martian Manhunter and Superman. I'm still going to give it to Aquaman, but I think Hawkman's going to really like break a couple of his teeth. No question about it. That being said, one of my favorite parts of this book was, Martian Manhunter's a fucking badass. Amanda Waller's talking to Steve Trevor, and she says, it's up to you, go find the Martian, bring him in. And he's like, he's going to be pretty tough to convince, She's like, just do it. And she leaves the room, and he's standing there, and he's like, you can come out, John. And all of a sudden, he just, integrates. Forget, you disintegrate, he just integrates into the room. He's like, how'd you know I was there? He's like, anytime you're mentioned, you show up. And you never really get an idea of how powerful of a telepath he is. But he's like, I'm in. I'll be on a part of this team. But if any of you try to fuck me over in any way, you try to capture me, you try to study me, you try to do whatever that's out of the ordinary, I am going to erase Amanda Waller's mind, and I am going to erase the minds of everyone in this building, including yourself. And you're just like, whoa. I never really gave the Martian Manhunter enough credit myself. Everybody just kind of like, oh, it's a Martian Manhunter, whatever. Give this guy a comic book. Let me read 6 issues about Martian Manhunter just being a fucking awesome character. Like, I would buy that in a heartbeat. You know, come on, DC, what are you doing? I think, like, the rest of the world would like to hear some more shit about the Martian Manhunter and really show off how powerful this guy could be. I think it would be awesome. Let's talk Green Lantern. This first Lantern guy appears to be not only like an emotional vampire, I think it was Guy Gardner that calls him that, but basically he's fucking with every one of the Lantern Corps and the Guardians, and he's looking at moments of their past and just taking the emotions that go with those moments. Like every one of us has had issues, you know, just some shit that we had to deal with in life, whether it was the death of a relative, car accident, you fell in love for the first time, whatever that is. And it's a mix of emotions. It's not, he obviously works on despair the most, that's like the tastiest or whatever to him, but he's taking these moments and then he's altering them to be even worse or whatever. Like in Guy Gardner's case, Gardner has to kill a terrorist bomber before he gets on a plane, and he shoots him, and the bomb goes off in the terminal, which kills maybe like 10 people. But the 150 plus people on the plane are saved. So this first Lantern guy alters time so that, the way Gardner remembers it, it happened that he missed the shot some other dude, an innocent guy, and the bomber got on the plane and the whole plane exploded, killing maybe 200 people in the plane and the terminal. So, like, and the way he's putting it, and he did the same thing to Kyle Rayner, but Kyle Rayner was a different story. We'll get to that in a minute. But he tells Gardner at the end, like, no, see, the way you're remembering it is how it happened, because I can do that. So I'm not sure if this guy is actually changing history, or if he's just making his victims think that he did. And if you think it, one of the greatest lines that Roger told me one time, back when we were very drunk, was, if your mind lies to you, it's the truth. So if he's making these people think it's so hard that it's real to them, that it's becoming real in the sense that they really feel the emotions associated with something like that happened. And the only guy who gave him kind of a run for his money was Kyle Rayner, and he calls him, like, you know, he says something like he's emotionally more stable or something like that because he's now a White Lantern. And you get the impression that this first Lantern is a White Lantern because he's made up of all the emotional spectrum colors. So something like emotional elite, I forget what he called them. But he's like, you know, I figured, let me get a moment to actually talk to you on the level. And then he starts fucking with him, and he starts making it so his girlfriend that Major Force stuffed in the refrigerator, she was alive again, but they were breaking up. But he's like, no, this ain't real. This isn't real. And he's like, oh, you know, none of the other Lanterns were able to push back as hard as you. You know, this is going to be interesting. So he alters Rayner's whole timeline so that instead of growing up with his mother, he grew up with his father instead. And that was the only time he kind of got one over on him. But either way, I'm not really sure what this guy's story is. And one of my biggest problems with Jeff Johns as a writer is he throws so much fact at you right in the beginning that you're just left like, what? And then later on, all of the books that follow it will kind of loop back, grab a piece of a fact, and come back and explain it to you. And it's just like you're constantly playing catch. I'm a simple creature, man. Give me easy explanations to follow. Give me an easy story. Don't just say, this is what's going on now, and we'll explain it to you in fucking 5 issues. Because that's when my fucking brain starts to leak out my ears and I get a little bit of an aneurysm. Let's talk Vitriol the Hunter. I did not care for this book. It was very cartoony. I like the artwork style. Reminded me of the guys who did Charismagic. I'm not sure if they were the same, but it looks very similar. But I just couldn't get into the story. I didn't get a feel for the characters right away. Apparently this dude, Vitriol, his father, for some reason turned the entire world into vampires. And The vampires themselves, like these original vampires, are trying to now conquer the world because there's so many more of them in their ranks. But it was jumping all over the place, and I didn't understand the story, and I found myself not caring that I didn't understand the story. So it's only a 4-issue series or a 6-issue series, whatever. But I'm not interested, and I do not recommend it. If you did like it, by all means hit us up. You know I like to hear from you guys. We all do. Vitriol the Hunter, did you like it? Questions@peachbasement.com. Let's talk Nova real quick, and we'll talk about our contest. Nova #1 features this kid, Sam Alexander, who is being treated to superhero stories by his drunk loser of a father, Jesse. Now, Jesse is some other Earth Lantern. Freudian slip. He's this other Earth Nova. And I had posted on Facebook a while back, a couple of days ago, who is this guy Jesse? I never fucking heard of him. The only Earth Nova Corps member I knew was Richard Rider. And actually what I said was the only Nova that I knew was Richard Rider. But our buddy Stephen Flack chimed in and he was like, the Nova Corps is just like kind of a take on the Green Lantern Corps. Yes, I actually forgot about that when I was writing it, but I did know that. But nevertheless, the only Earthling I knew who wore the mantle of Nova was Richard Rider, who died along with Star-Lord in a fight with Thanos a couple of years ago. I think it was the Thanos Imperative, or the Thanos Initiative, something like that. But he's actually just trapped in another universe, but I think they got out or something, but not important. This guy, Sam Alexander, who is apparently a kind of a homage, I guess, to Jeff Loeb's late son, who passed away of bone cancer several years ago. Very sad, but the kid lives on, and this character who was originally created for the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and now they've thrown him into the regular Marvel Universe, which is really cool. But he's just a kid, and he's going to get the Nova powers. He first appeared in X-Men vs. Avengers Infinite a while back, and now this is his origin story. But the question I posted on Facebook was, who is this Jesse guy? And the only information I could find was the only guy named Jesse who ever bore the mantle of Nova was back in a What If number 15 in an alternate Earth number 15797. And this What If story explored the concept of what if somebody else got the Nova powers. And it was 4 different stories. It was this homeless guy, Jesse, who happened to be black, Spider-Man, I think it was The Thing, and some other villain, or whatever. But that was the only mention of Jesse I ever got. So my question was, who was this guy, Jesse Alexander? And Stephen Flack technically won because he had the total correct answer, but he has graciously turned his winning comic book over to Rick Boyer, whose answer was, I said, who's Jesse? And Rick answered, Jesse is a friend. He's been a good friend of mine. Well, Rick, that was possibly one of the greatest answers I've ever heard. And just for fucking making me laugh, we'll go send you a free comic book, so drop us your address as well. That being said, I really did like the Nova book. I've never been a big Nova fan. I've always thought he was cool. I liked his costume, especially the later Richard Rider costume and everything. But the book was very interesting, and it was fun. I like the artwork, so I'm going to keep reading it. And I would definitely recommend it right now. It seems like it's going to be a cool book. And it should be cool for young kids, too, because, just like the new Ultimate Spider-Man, he's a fucking kid. He's a grade school kid, maybe freshman year in high school at the most. Maybe I kind of got the impression of high school, because he's taking over for his drunkard father, doing janitorial work and everything. So, he's got kind of a sense of responsibility. Good book. All right, real quick, I got 2 more before Steve kills me for running overtime on this segment. Thor number 5. Get on with the fucking story already. We're already up to issue 5. We've been dragging our feet with this story. The God Killer, whatever it is, the God Slayer or some shit. Now, in issue 6, finally, we're going to get the origin of Gore, who is the God Slayer. So it's Thor versus Gore. Yes. Couldn't come up with a better name than that. So now we're going to have to wait until at least issue 7 or 8 for the fucking fight to finish off. Get on with it. It's an interesting story, but you're starting to annoy me. I'm going to end this off with Daredevil number 23. We found out that Foggy had cancer, and Daredevil's been kind of swinging around, you know, showing Foggy. He basically has Foggy on his back, and he's fucking looping all around the city, just kind of, you know, giving him a thrill, showing him how he lives and everything, because, you know, Foggy's got cancer now, so he just wants to live his life and experience everything. And then Daredevil's got to go fight some villains who have been engineered to be like him somehow. So I'm sure we'll touch on that part of the story later. There was a bunch of criminals that have been given, you know, his fucking radar sense and shit. So he goes, beats them all, tracks them down, and then they're in the doctor's office, and this part is where I get a little foggy on the concept myself. Daredevil, Matt Murdock, is listening to an accelerated heartbeat because he knows Foggy's nervous, and he's like, yeah, I'm listening to that heartbeat. Oh God, you know, Foggy's really nervous. Foggy's nervous. It's not Foggy. And then the doctor says, I'm sorry, with that kind of word balloon, and he puts his hand on Foggy's shoulder or whatever. And now I'm confused. Was the heartbeat that Matt was listening to the doctor's because he was nervous about telling Foggy that he had cancer? Or was the heartbeat Matt was listening to supposedly coming from Foggy Nelson, who is not really his buddy Foggy? And, you know, somebody's been fucking with Matt Murdock's life for a while now, so maybe it is, maybe it ain't. Who knows? But that's a hell of a cliffhanger to leave us off at. Daredevil is still a great book, and I hope you guys are reading and enjoying it as much as I am. And I lied, I'm going to end this off with one more book, Superior Spider-Man number 4. We see the return of the Green Goblin, panels popping up right now. Great artwork. It's definitely going to be Norman Osborn, and I'm sure we'll find out real soon how the hell he escaped some maximum security prison that he was in. Moreover, this guy Massacre has escaped. Massacre is a supervillain. He's just a human who lost the ability to have any kind of empathy for the human race. He just kills people wantonly, doesn't care, women, children, men, it doesn't fucking matter. And Spider-Man let him live the last time because he's a fucking liberal asshole and he thinks everybody can be rehabilitated, and, you know, God forbid you should take possibly a more lethal standpoint on this. The least you could have done was break his legs to the point where he can never walk right again. Something, Spidey, because you just fucking broke out, and now there's like 10 other deaths on your head. Way to fucking go, asshole. So Mayor Jameson's like, you know, this is your fault. This is your damn fault. You let him live the last time. And now Ox Spidey's like, you know, you're right. I messed up. I really messed up. Well, it's not going to happen again. I'm going to track this guy down, and I'm going to finish him for good so he doesn't hurt anybody else ever. And Peter Parker's back like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Everybody can be saved. We can't take any fucking human life. Well, guess what? America supports the death penalty, asshole. People like that deserve to be fucking killed, and I would like to see, personally, Peter Parker deal with the concept of Ock killing somebody. That will be a fucking good mountain for Parker to have to climb when he gets control of his own body back. Because it's bound to happen, obviously. And having to mentally get past the fact that it was technically still him that did it, it was Spider-Man that did it, and having to rework that image, that'll be a good story. So, I still don't like this idea of Doc Ock running around, but I want to see what happens. I do. I admit it. I still don't like it, but I want to see where it's going. I'm going to turn you over to the rest of the crew. Have a good weekend, guys.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in Peace Basement Land. It's your girl Penny, and today I'm going to put you onto some video games because I'm looking for something to occupy me while I'm waiting for Bioshock Infinite and Tomb Raider to come out. They're also working on a Deadpool game, but regardless, it's going to be a long wait for me because I know I'm not going to buy them when they come out for $50. Get out of here. I'm going to wait to get them used from GameStop when they're cheap because that's how I roll. But in the meantime, I want a game with adventure. I grew up on the PC text, like input commands and the point and click adventures. They were actually a really big part of my childhood, and I still play them from time to time on my Wii because you know you can install the Scum VM emulator and then run the game ROMs if you know what to do in the nudge nudge wink wink kind of fashion. But those games hold a very special place in my heart. I like games with exploration. I'm an explorer. I like free roam, inventory collecting games with like puzzles and things that stimulate your creative imagination. And I have a lot of favorites, but some on the top of my list are the Quest for Glory series, Shivers, King's Quest, Gabriel Knight, and Leisure Suit Larry, which all came out under Sierra when they still made adventure games, and I'm kind of bummed that they don't. I was also a big fan of LucasArts, who made awesome games with a lot of humor like Maniac Mansion, Indiana Jones and the Secret of Atlantis, Grim Fandango, Sam & Max Hit the Road, which also spawned a cartoon series and a comic book, which I've been looking for kind of like years now, if somebody can help me out. But above all, LucasArts made The Secret of Monkey Island, which in my opinion highly contributed to adventure games flourishing so well in the 90s, because this game is hilarious. This series has brought so much joy into my life that has really stayed with me, because sometimes I make references that no one gets. When I get into a scuffle and I say, "Huh, you fight like a dairy farmer," they don't give me the appropriate response, and they just stare at me blankly like, "I know you are right now." But you know you can get in on the jokes because the series has been revisited, and deluxe editions of The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge are available for download right now on PS3 and Xbox. In The Secret of Monkey Island, you're Guybrush Threepwood, a lanky boy with a terrible name who washes up on the shore of Melee Island with the dream and determination of becoming a mighty pirate. So you learn to insult sword fight, round up a crew, and go treasure hunting while getting into all sorts of, wacky situations with colorful characters and other pirates of low moral fiber before escaping from Monkey Island, defeating the ghost pirate LeChuck, saving the woman of your dreams, all on a quest to be a grog-swilling but porcelain-fearing pirate. What makes this edition deluxe is that aside from releasing the game in its original glory, they also added an in-game feature where with the press of the, I think it's the bumper or the trigger, you can seamlessly switch back and forth between the original graphics and then the new updated graphics. And the new graphics are really great. They are exactly how you'd expect modernized Monkey Island graphics to look, but they still have that classic adventure game feel, which makes me happy because I'm really nostalgic. And although Guybrush has done more doofy and lanky from the original game because it matches his current look in the series, because the series is still going strong, heck yeah, I think that's great. And a company called Telltale Games is the one that releases now the Tales of Monkey Island in downloadable episodes for PC, PS3, Wii, and I think some Apple products. I love that Monkey Island is still kicking. And I was wondering recently, since Disney bought Lucasfilms, if they would currently have in their possession any Monkey Island scripts, because they were working on an animated Monkey Island movie script under Industrial Light and Magic, which is Disney's now. And I had also heard a rumor that some time ago there was a Monkey Island script being worked on, and then one of the people from the project went to Disney, and lo and behold, they started working on Pirates of the Caribbean. And if you're a Monkey Island fan, you watch Pirates of the Caribbean and you'll see a lot of similarities to Monkey Island. Just saying. But anyway, Telltale Games puts their stuff out in episodes, and I haven't caught up to this whole episode aspect yet. I feel like it's just to squeeze more money out of me by making me buy a full game in pieces. But it is an interesting concept, which Telltale Games has gotten onto consoles like Xbox with another former LucasArts game I mentioned called Sam & Max. And I think that's just capital that the series is still around and progressing into the future. Speaking about the future, Telltale Games also has out a Back to the Future game for PC and a bunch of other platforms. If anyone has played it and wants to let me know what they thought, that'd be awesome. Oh, and some old school comic book fans will also find it interesting that Telltale Games has a Bone game under them. You remember the Bone comic, don't you, right? It's gonna all come back to you. It's coming back to you. You remember it. But I think it's all just awesome that I could find all the adventure games that I like now on all different kinds of platforms, and that some of them are still progressing and making new games. But what happens when a game influenced by old school adventure games gets made specifically with a console in mind? Well, you get games like Psychonauts by Tim Schafer, and Tim Schafer being one of the original writers and programmers for Monkey Island, which I didn't realize when I first played it. Originally a regular Xbox game, which doesn't work properly on the 360. They've made it available for download in the arcade. And although I own it already, like the original, it don't work, I'm gonna download it off the marketplace so I can play it again because the game is great. And I think you might like it. In Psychonauts, you're Rasputin, aka Raz, a young determined boy with special abilities who dreams of being a psychic-powered soldier called a Psychonaut. So he runs away to summer camp for the supernaturally gifted to begin training. Naturally, there's something bigger going on, and everyone's minds are in danger of being extracted and used for some kind of mental death ray tank thing, plus a bunch of other mishaps and adventures along the way. As the story progresses, you'll learn new mind abilities like levitation, pyrokinesis, telekinesis, to name a few. Why can't I think of any more? You use them in combat, but you'll also need to use specific abilities to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles through the game. Some chapters involve being in people's minds or going through the doors of your own mind, so the visuals really change and it gets, dreamy and imaginative. The story's great, it's humorous, and the dialogue isn't stale, so I'm down with it. And you can be down with it too for only 800 Microsoft points, which is like $10. And how great is that for a full game? Psychonauts came out of Double Fine Productions, which is the really great company that put out Brutal Legend as well as Alice Madness Returns, which was fantastic. And in fact, if you liked Alice, you'll like Psychonauts even more. So you should definitely pick it up. Alice Madness Returns was actually a sequel to American McGee's Alice, and when you buy it, you get a code to get the original game for free, which is fantastic because playing American McGee's Alice on the keyboard was terrible, and to keep myself from throwing it out the window, I just stopped playing it, which worked out pretty well. But now Double Fine with Sega has made my day because they just released a new adventure game this past January. It was created by Ron Gilbert, who is not only the creator of Maniac Mansion, but also none other than the masterpiece that is Monkey Island. So this game already has a lot of points in my book. The demo and the full game are currently both available, and it's called The Cave.
For hundreds, nay thousands, nay tens of thousands of years, people have come to me in search of what they desire most. Few find what they are looking for. Even fewer ever leave. Welcome to The Cave. Yes, I'm a talking cave. I have a really interesting story to tell you this evening, so pay attention. It's a story of 7 people and a glimpse into a dark place in each of their hearts.
Out of the 7 playable characters, you will start your journey with any 3 of your choice. So I naturally went with the Time Traveler and the Adventurer because I'm all about that stuff. Then I threw in the Monk because, hey, I figured he could help balance the Force. You switch between characters during the game with the D-pad, but you don't need to keep switching back and forth to move them throughout the game. Once you travel far enough with one character, the other 2 will just pop up next to you, so that's pretty convenient. You will, however, need to separate characters in order to solve puzzles and get your teamwork on in certain situations, like, one person open a door, the other pull a lever, teamwork stuff, man. Depending on which 3 characters you pick, the story and puzzle solving methods in your adventure through the cave changes because each character has their own story. And I really like that because that means the game has replayability since there's several different combinations of characters to use. I've already been playing this demo for the past 2 weeks with all different combos to see how different it is, and it's been fun. What's pretty funny is that the cave actually talks and narrates at different points as you venture through it. But what's really, really, really great is that I can also tell that there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs in this game. I know Double Fine likes to do that because I've seen a statue of Raz from Psychonauts in Alice Madness Returns. And as I was playing the demo, I noticed a Monkey Island reference, which is this grog vending machine that I remember from Stan's previously owned vessels in the first game. I'm looking forward to spotting some less obvious ones, and I'm really digging the game. I'm gonna add Microsoft points to my account for it soon, and then I can talk more about it, maybe blog about it. But also out this month, not related to adventuring, is Gotham City Imposters. It's a first-person shooter where you can be like a wannabe vigilante Batman or a Joker. You customize your characters and shoot each other up with homemade gadgets and weapons on different maps. It's online play only, which is meh, because if you don't have an Xbox Live account, then what the hell good is it? I also didn't like that the game asks you to sign up for a Warner Brothers ID when I first put the game on. I don't want to sign up with any external things to play a game. Plus, I get paranoid about signing up for things sometimes, and through the console is weird, so I skipped it. I don't know if you can skip it in the full game, but I did in a demo. In a demo, you get a full training course to learn how to play the game, and you get an hour of demo time. After that, the demo is useless. I don't like first-person shooters too much. I've made exceptions in the past, like for GoldenEye and Perfect Dark for the 64, and more recently Bioshock. Bioshock 2's online play is very similar to this game, but I'm not terribly good at these type of like first-person shooters. But if you like running around and shooting strangers and dig Batman, then you'll love this game. So maybe you can try the demo out. But that's it for now. I play all different types of games and probably have a closer relationship with my Xbox than most people have with each other, so you'll likely see more gaming stuff from me. But until then, I hope you're getting your game on and having a great day. See ya!
Okay, let's get to it. First up, some questions. Mason T. Gaines, he doesn't have a question, he just states how death in the family of the family is pretty much something that doesn't have any ramifications and whatnot. And as his last statement was entertaining but pointless. To answer that, actually it just worked out. Michael Moore wrote back. He wrote, okay, Grant Morrison makes Jason Todd important. He shows an incredible amount of growth in a death event. And then I opened up this, referring to Red Hood and the Outlaws. Yeah. That came out this week, and in less than 8 minutes, I see what arguably should have been covered in the pages of the Batman book. The leafy-looking panels and lack of dialogue didn't do this justice. This could be the birth of the next generation Joker. It could be a blip on the radar. I don't know what to make of this issue, but I was shocked. This coupled in with Damian's death, Damian might die. Dick's leaving, and who knows what Harper role would be, could make for a very twisted Bruce Wayne. I didn't care for Batman, Brother Eye, and Crisis. Neither did I, Michael. I'm really concerned that it's going to spin into a bunch of suck that will get retconned quick. But then again, it could be great. What do you guys think about another deconstructing Batman run? Well, okay. Mason, we don't know what's going to happen right now. We do know Dick Grayson's leaving to Chicago. Obviously, Red Hood has some major consequences to deal with, and Barbara Gordon she seems very destructive and somewhat bitchy. But anyways, I think she's definitely staying in Gotham. Hopefully, Batman becomes more of his own creature, and let's see where that takes us. All right. Next, we have Barack, who asks a few questions. What is the best Hulk comic? Wow. Asking a comic book guy what the best of anything is a very dangerous thing to ask, dude. It just really. But off the top of my head, the most recent good Hulk that came out was, besides the current issue, which is fantastic, and I should recommend that, was Planet Hulk. Planet Hulk was very, 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 very good. It was followed by World War Hulk, which had potential but wasn't that good. That's it. I mean, there's probably more further back stuff, classics and shit you can look into. Before that, there was a good run with actually Greg Pak's run period on Hulk, and there was some stuff drawn by Mike Deodato that was just awesome. There was one point where you never knew what Hulk you would transform into, and even there was a Super Banner in which Banner would just have the powers of Hulk, which was awesome. That was a good run. And after that also introduced us to A-Bomb, so I don't know, maybe that wasn't such a good run. But I liked it. That's when I really started getting into the Hulk. He asked what Green Lantern Corps would the table want to be in. I would probably be in the Love One, or that's it. If you were asking specifically what the table itself would be, it'd probably be Avarice, because that table always has a shitload of things on it, and it never wants to let go of it. He asked about Flashpoint, if it really happened or not. It did happen. And it caused the current universe. That's the best I could explain without getting too into it, and I don't want to because I have a lot of books to review. And then he asked, the Living Tribune, besides the Infinity Gauntlet, is there any other cosmic book that they were in? Great question. The Infinity books, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War. Okay, they're totally slipping my mind. I know recently the Living Tribune was in the last She-Hulk book. Eternity was in the last Mighty Avengers book. I would recommend you getting into the books, the sci-fi books. Annihilation, way back when. Or you could just go to comicvine.com, type in the character's name, and they will show you all the books that they appear in. It's a very cool website to go to and look shit up. Not always up to date, especially when it comes to the minor companies, excuse me, but pretty good. Also, last shout out to Chris Sante. He's a new fan of ours over in Missouri. Hey Chris, how are the ladies out in Missouri? Hope you enjoy. Keep on supporting us, man. On to books. This week, Dark Horse Comics, BPRD 1948. Number 5 came out. It was the last one, so hey. This is interesting. It shows Hellboy as a little kid. Mind you, he's a minor character, but it does show him as a little kid. And how he's dealing with looking so much like a demon, you know. Also shows his father, his adopted father, you know, the guy who raised him. I forget his name. Oh, Jesus, this is bad. Some of this stuff going in my head. Well, it shows him dealing with some paranormal stuff in the military and a love interest and how that fucking fails and whatnot. Good. 5 issues. I was looking to jump into something more besides Hellboy when it comes to the Hellboy universe. I did with this. I do not regret it. I recommend it. Alright, Baltimore, The Widow and the Tank. 2 stories. One's about the widow. You know, her husband comes back from the war, assuming he died, and he didn't. He comes back, he's a vampire. The other one is a tank, in which vampires hiding in a tank. And Baltimore, Lord Baltimore to be specifically, goes after both of them and whatnot, and it's just chaos and insanity ensues. And I recommended the Baltimore books for a while now, and this is good. This is a one shot. If you want to jump on it, I recommend it. Next we have number 13, number 3. That's 3. I could barely see that. Yeah, it is number 3. This finishes this current book. Hopefully to pick up again another volume or something because I liked it. And 3 issues, nice, sweet, post-apocalyptic, crazy mutations and stuff, androids. I don't know what else I could say. It was good stuff. Again, 3 issues, worth it. The Black Beetle number 2. This is some good, weird stuff. Like, he's a mixture of Batman and older characters like the Spider, the Shadow, cats like that. And it was a good book. I really enjoyed it. It was just really good stuff. Kind of nowhere, twist to it and shit. Yeah, I like it. DC, Batwoman number 17. Finally, this whole story with Medusa and everybody's over. Because it's not really over. It's just 17 issues is just a long time for one arc to be, and it feels like this is a 17 issue arc. I know it wasn't, technically, but I don't know. And stop with the spreads. A whole comic book of spreads that's cute, but you almost don't feel like you're getting your money's worth. Because you just boom spread. After a while, you're like done with the book. You're like, wait, I just paid how much for this? Really? But whatever. Let's see where the character goes from this. I know they're going to mention their freaking sister. I don't want them to. I'm sick and tired of hearing about her sister or Medusa or these other shit, quite frankly. And she got engaged at the end of this, and I'm like, oh my god, is this going to be like, what, another gay thing? I don't care for that. But, whatever. Maybe I would like to see more involved in the crime of, these in Gotham. Why ain't she dealing with that? Like, she's not on Batman's level, obviously, so she shouldn't be dealing with this massive, epic shit, but she is. Whatever. Next, we have the Green Lantern books. Green Lantern 17, Green Lantern Corps 17, and Green Lantern New Guardians 17. Wrath of the First Lantern, Part 1, 2, and 3. Really, I'll get back to you when it's over. Justice League 17, Justice League of America 1, and Justice League of America's Vibe, number 1. Alright. I don't know, I felt kind of funny about the Throne of Atlantis conclusion. You know, like, okay, he's back to being king. So, I mean, what's his role in the overall DC universe going to be now? Are you going to limit him? Is he always going to be stuck in water now? I mean, he was really badass, and now he's going to be stuck in the water in a political drama. I mean, I'm hoping not, but let's hope. Let's hope. Hope is a 4-letter word, though. Justice League of America #1. I'll actually iffy on the art. I know. Usually I like David Finch. I love his shit in Dark Knight. But something about this just didn't do it for me. Again, I'm not a big fan of the lineup. I am not. And Amanda Waller was drawn differently than she usually is, and considering she's in Team 7, that's a younger her, but I understand that. Suicide Squad, and there's like 3 different looks, and whoever's in charge in DC needs to just get their artists together and like, look, this is the way you're supposed to look. But whatever. That aside, they set up certain things, you know, the team set up for certain things, and mainly to battle Justice League. I don't know how they're going to figure out Catwoman can battle Batman, but whatever. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. Let's just take it one issue at a time, and this issue was okay. C+. Yeah, C+. Justice League of America's vibe. They're trying. They're really trying. And bringing back this, you know, I don't even want to give him a letter because he doesn't deserve a letter. He's, you know what? He's pi. The mathematical alphabet, the letter thing, you know, he continues forever and ever and ever. That's him. Because he doesn't have a letter. He's that bad. He's all the way in the end of infinity. And then they're trying to make him a huge freaking hero in the DC universe. And, okay, his power thing, they're getting interesting. They're getting into it. He's not breakdancing. His costume's ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah. Nightwing 17. Okay. Nightwing has anger issues. Nightwing's been through a lot of shit. Joker did him dirty. And if you don't know, Joker burned down, I forgot the name of the freaking, Haley Circus. Burned it down. Mind you, all of Nightwing's money was involved in this. Yeah, he's, you know, technically a ward of, you know, Bruce Wayne, so, you know, but this is his personal money and he's broke. So how's it going to work out with the move to Chicago? We'll find out. Anyways, moving along. There's some ramifications for you there. Hopefully it'll last more than 2 issues. I believe it will. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 17. I didn't care for the cover, actually. Didn't. I mean, no. And even though I saw the cover, I was surprised at what happened. I'm like, damn! I'm not going to tell you, pick it up. Damn! Dynamite. Dejah, Thoris, and the Green Men of Mars. Now, I like this. Crazy adventure and fighting, and, you know, the fact that she's half naked at a time, that's cool. Alright? That's fun. Whatever, it's Mars. Yeah, it's further away from the sun, but she can afford to just wear pasties and do her shit. Whatever. But this book almost reads like a sick porn. And the art didn't help. Like, she's always with some kind of like all fours and shit like that. I don't know. Like, I love World of Mars. I like her regular book. You know, The Shadow, year 1. Damn. This is good. This is finally giving us the origin, somewhat. The loose origin, or at least first year, basically, of how the Shadow came to be. How he came to be, how we recognize him now. The first issue, you see where he get the whole red thing from. So, let's go with it. It's interesting. Shadow has not done me wrong. Okay, let's do this. I recommend it. The Spider number 9. Damn, this is some crazy drama happening in this damn book. Crazy. There's love interest, and there's hypnosis, and there's good shit. This is a Dynamite Entertainment classic on the cover. You know what? This Spider is some good shit. It really is. This is my book of the week, which surprised me. I mean, it wasn't even, I don't think it was on my pull list. I don't remember. I was just wild. IDW's Kill Shakespeare, The Tide of Blood. Now, there's original, another Kill Shakespeare that came out, I think, for 12 issues, which now I'm going to have to go find somehow or something, because I need to read it. Do you need to read it? Like, is this book jump-on friendly? Mostly. It is mostly jump-on friendly. Obviously, there's some things that happened in the previous issue, but it's recapped, so that's fine. Shakespeare's characters are alive. It is one world. And Shakespeare is like a god. He's worshipped. And there's battles ensuing between them, between different empires. Juliet is dating Hamlet. Romeo's feeling some type of way about that. So, you know, hey, it's some good stuff. Really good stuff. I was surprised, but it's my book of the week. IDW's Vitriol, The Hunter. The art's very cartoony, but that being said, it's I like it. It's not great, but it's cute. There you go. It's cute. Will I probably be reviewing it? Probably not, unless it gets really damn good. But it was a cute little book. Way to go, Grant Morrison. You think you hear that from me? No. But issue 4 of Images Happy came out, and it was badass. See, Grant Morrison does some weird zany out of the box thing. Like he's not even out of the box. He steps out of the box, shits on the box, and then runs away from it. And then he starts working that far away. This is some crazy stuff. If you haven't picked it, you should pick it up. If you like crazy, if you like a little zany, this is it. If you like violence, this is it. If you like foul mouth cursing, this is it. If you like mobster stories, this is it. If you like corrupt cops, this is it. It isn't book of the week, but it came damn close. Morrison. Okay. Indestructible Hulk, number 4. Barack, this is good. Instead of calling it Indestructible Hulk, they should have just called it Hulk Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That would have been hot. It would have been hot seeing like Bruce Banner in like a old school Spice tuxedo and stuff with like gadgets around him. But I understand why they didn't go that way. That's cool. Bruce Banner is a scientist by day, and whenever S.H.I.E.L.D. needs him, he's a weapon of mass destruction for them. Awesome idea. I don't know. It's just good stuff. It's just well done. Last but not least, Nova number 1. Fuck you. That's my review. It's cute. It can be a good book, but with such wonderful books as Nova, The Several Annihilations. Why are you doing Richard Rider dirty? Where is he? Is he dead? Then officially say he's dead and move the hell on. But you have it. You brought back Black Bolt. You brought back every damn body. Let's say you give him this little pipsqueak that's always smiling in his uniform and this drama and his daddy issues and all this shit. And yeah. No. That's it. That's all I got. Peace.
Your old pal Pete back with a segment episode. Real quick before I start on this week's books, which were actually a lot of fun to read this week. Want to announce the winner of our Ghostbusters contest. That would be our good buddy Jorge Burgos, who answered the right question. He didn't answer the right question. He answered the question with the right answer. Oh, whiskey. We go way back. What's up, everybody? It's your old pal Pete, back with the... What the fuck am I doing? Oh, yeah, it's a segment episode. Shit. Oh, I feel better. Now, we saw Nova... this kid as Nova premiere a while back in, well, fuck, I goddamn can't remember. Hold on. And thank you to all of you who wrote in. Everybody who did had the correct answer, which was Sam Hain. He's the spirit of Halloween. And thank you all for including a picture of Sam Hain from the cartoon in with your answers. That was very helpful. But Jorge Burgos, you were the first one to write in with your correct answer to questions@peachbasement.com. And I was very bright and early Tuesday morning when the episode went live. And I'm going to try to do this again and not fucking stutter all over myself.
He steps out of the box, shits on the box, and then runs away from it.